Hi, and welcome to CodeChangers. You're probably wondering how to get started in the CodeChangers platform. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to learn.codechangers.com. Once you go to that website, you'll see a login screen. You need to put in your email and your password, and then you're going to need to hit sign in. Once you're signed in, you're going to see a home dashboard that you're welcome to each and every day. In the CodeChangers system, there's a calendar that tracks the days that you come into the system and that you code. So if you want to earn certain badges based on days straight that you're signing into the system to earn streaks, this is how you can keep track of those streaks and the days that you've logged in and work in the system. So I'm going to give you a little overview of the system, of how to navigate it, and that'll help you as you continue to learn in CodeChangers. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you where to access your course curriculum. That's in the My Classes tab. You can see that this is a new student that's never started, so go ahead and hit start. You'll see here that only HTML is available to be clicked on. That's because that's all that your teacher has unlocked for you. If you feel like you should be able to see more content or you want to go further, contact your teacher and ask them to unlock it for you. So in this first section that's unlocked, you'll see that there's this red button that hits start and that none of these other lessons are available. That's because this is all that your teacher, again, has unlocked. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit start, or you could click on the first point of the lesson. I'm going to click on start. This will give you an idea of how to view the lesson plan. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow the lesson plan. I will tell you that a lot of the things that you're going to learn on CodeChangers, you're going to have to do in the text editor. So what I would do is I would hold down Command on a Mac or Control on a Windows on my editor, and I'm going to click on it. And what that did is that created a new tab where there's a text editor. So what you're going to do is you're going to view the lesson. And if I were to scroll through this lesson and get to the point where we're actually coding, like right here, it has the first couple lines of code. Then I would go here and I would start to code out the lesson like it says. And then if I want to view the next step, I go back to the lesson plan in a different tab, and then I would go back and code on the other tab. And that's how you're going to work through a lot of these lessons that you're working through at the start. There's also a lot of side projects that you can do. If you go to My Badges, you can view some of the side projects. So you'll see that ones that aren't able to be clicked on, those are just ones that are earned through completing certain things on the system. But if there is one that says earn, you can click on that badge, and then you can click on the first part of that badge. This is essentially the lesson. And then if you click on this badge, you can start through the lesson, and it'll be the same flow of going to your text editor and going back through the lesson. Badges are one way to access those curriculum. Another way is to just go to side quests, and you'll see side quests are all project-based learning that you can do to earn points in the system and to continue to learn. Also, if you want to just code out your own projects, you can just click on the My Editor, and this will provide you with a text editor that you can use. You can select the language that you want to code in. So if I picked, let's just say I picked CSS, I can delete the HTML code that was in there. I can add a little bit of CSS code. I'm going to add a color red. And then I can just, if I want to, I can save it, and I can save it in an existing folder. This student only has one folder right now, but I could save it as style. And you don't have to put the ending on it like .css. It'll automatically do it for you. So if you just type style and hit create, that'll create in your My Files area a file called style.css. So in the My Files tab is where you can view all of your files. You can actually create a new folder, and that folder is just a blank folder that you could save files in. You can also click New Project, And once you create the new project, you can see that it automatically gives you an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript file. And if you want to view those files in the text editor, you just click on the name of the file, and that'll view it in the text editor. Obviously, it just created a new blank file, so there's no content in that. If I go again back to my files, I just want to show you a couple of the other things. So if I go to project where there are some different files, you can also click this button to download the file onto your computer. You can click the trash can, obviously, to delete it. And if you click the pencil, it's just like clicking on the name of the file. It'll open it in the text editor, which is pretty convenient. If you're in the text editor and you have some existing content that you want to change, you can just say, hello, CodeChangers. And if you hit the run key, it'll show you the changes on the right. If you like those changes, you then can hit save. I'm going to do test because that's the folder I made. I'm going to call it index, and then I'm going to hit create. And that now has this folder in there. If there's changes that I want to undo, I can hit the undo button, and it'll take me back to where I began, or I can hit the clear key, which will pull up the original content that this loaded. So that's kind of how you view the text editor and how you work in it. If you don't want to see the preview and you want more room to code, you can hit this eyeball button, and that'll hide or show the preview. You'll notice when the preview is hidden, you can't hit run because there's no preview, but this is how you would do that. So if I go back to my files, you'll see that I have test, and I have that file that we just made. I also have all my other folders. If I wanted to hit the set live button next to a folder, then I can go ahead and hit it. And what that'll do is on your live space, you have your own domain that you can use, and it'll take you to that domain. So you can see here that, I'll just pull this bar up. You can see here that you can view the exact website on your live domain, which is pretty cool. On top of that, the only other thing that I would add about live domains is that in order for your domain to work and for your website to work, in your folders, you always need to have a file called index.html. This is part of the internet and how the internet browser knows which file to display first as the home page. And the way that that's been set is by naming the file index.html. So if you're ever building a website in HTML, make sure that you name the first file that you create index.html, and then after that you can name the files whatever you want, but at least the computer will know to display through the web browser that index.html is the home browser. There's also a dictionary that allows you to look up words. You can search for something that you've learned, or you can just click on it and it'll show you how to do that and how to implement the actual code if you need a refresher on how to do that. And really that's the system as a whole. Just in quick review, the home dashboard will show you what's going on with different things on the system. My classes will show you how to view your actual classes. My badges is like a trophy room that'll show you what you've earned. My files is where you view all of the files that you have stored on your drive. My editor is how you access the editor. Dictionary is how to view different terms that you're learning, and side quests is where you can look up projects that you can work on, and then you can work in them. And that's how you pretty much use CodeChangers. The only other thing would be to change a password. If you click up here and click change my password, it'll allow you to do those steps. Also, you might get notifications that say different points that you've earned and things like that. And then also this is where you can view and change your account information, and where you can also just sign out of the system.